April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, so throughout the month we're going to be talking with staff members from the Women's Bureau to learn more about the React Rape Awareness Program. Today I have Fatima Washington with me. Hi, Fatima.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. You are actually the outreach educator for the radKIDS program. What is the radKIDS program?
It's a personal empowerment program that teaches kids safety in and out of the home based on 3 principles. No one has the right to hurt me because I'm special. I don't have the right to hurt anyone else, including myself. Unless they're trying to hurt me, then I can stop them. And third, it's not my fault, so I can tell.
That is fantastic. What age group do you guys reach out to?
3.5 to 12, and once you've completed the program once, you can go through it again as many times as you want to without any extra charge or anything like that, up until your 13th birthday.
Wow. 3.5, do you guys have a lot of little itty bitties?
We've done a few programs in some preschools, but you know, they definitely need the program more than once so that they can understand it. Sure. But getting it the first time helps to increase that confidence so that even at 3 and 4, they can say, you know, you don't have the right to hurt me.
Absolutely, and they're such sponges.
Right.
So what is the target population for this program?
Any kid in that age, because every child has the right to know that they're special and no one can hurt them, and to be empowered and to feel safe wherever they are.
So it's really, I feel like a lot of times people think that it might be limited to young girls, but
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And as a matter of fact, any child is necessary to have this program because they are seen as easy prey because they are smaller. So it doesn't matter what sex they are, what their background is, where they live. Every child has the potential to have harm come towards them, so they need to definitely make sure that they know how to keep themselves safe.
Right. How do you know that this program is effective?
Well, radKIDS is a national program, and there have been no reported abductions of children who have gone through the radKIDS program.
Wow.
In fact, there have been reports of over 74 saves of children. And when I mean saves, I mean these children were put into situations where someone was trying to abduct them. They used their radKIDS skills and were able to escape.
Wow.
So it's definitely something that's right.
Yeah. I mean, if there was any doubt that this is a great program, that clears it up. How do you get parents and adults to help their children?
Well, we definitely make sure that they come. They are more than welcome to come to the programs and learn some of the skills that their kids are learning. There are some things that the children will take home, some so to speak homework, things that they can do, such as like fire drills or what kind of safety tools they need to have between them and their parents that maybe no one else needs to know, so that they can remain safe and they know that whatever message comes to them comes from that parent.
So it's certainly interactive.
Most definitely.
Yeah, you encourage the parents and guardians to get involved.
Most definitely.
I would assume that the education really does start at home, so that's probably a big part of it.
It's definitely helpful when they can integrate that, what they learn in the classes that I'll teach, and when they can take that home and show their parents, and then their parents are also involved. Like, it's important that a child knows how to dial 911 on a cell phone, because most people only have cell phones. And if they know how to dial it on the phone, that's one thing. But, you know, as parents, a lot of times you tell your child, don't play with my cell phone, this is mommy's, this is daddy's. But they need to know how to say 911 and send.
Right.
Because it's not just 911 for them.
That's such a great point. I think a lot of times parents feel like, you know, I know what there is to know to protect my child, but that's something I would not have thought of.
Right. And that's another thing that radKIDS teaches, is that as parents, you want to be able to protect your child at all times, but you're not with them 24/7.
Yeah.
And there are some skills that they need to have in themselves to make sure that they remain safe.
I can imagine that this program carries over into other parts of their lives as well, just as far as confidence.
Oh, most definitely. You can see the confidence grow in the children as the program progresses, and to where they literally will tell people, you don't have the right to hurt me, so I don't have to be afraid of you. And it gives them that power back. It lets them, you know, sometimes we mistake it. The children, they know that they're smaller, and some of them feel fearful because they are smaller.
Right.
But with this program, it gives them that power so that they're like, you know what, it doesn't matter what size I am, you still can't hurt me.
this program sounds so great, but I understand that sometimes you meet resistance from schools about introducing the program. Explain that.
Well, usually it's about two problems that happen. One, schools struggle with, making time for everything.
Right.
So you don't want to take time away from something else to teach this program, but what's great about it is that it fits Indiana's physical education requirements.
Oh, wow.
So it can be taught in gym class and doesn't have to take away from any other time.
Mm-hmm. And it's invaluable,
Right.
I mean, really, just as important as math and spelling.
Right. Well, and the other issue is that they think it's going to increase fighting or bullying, because we do discuss bullying, because it is a very big problem right now.
Mm-hmm.
But actually what we found is that it decreases the amount of fighting, period, in schools, and that in some pre-tests, about 17% of children would say that physically aggressing towards your bully is not a good way to handle it, which is a correct assumption. Mm-hmm. But then the post-test said that 79% of the children agreed with that. So they understand better how to deal with bullies, and that it's more of a block the bully, run to a safe place, and tell an adult, versus trying to fight them or just becoming someone who gets very, very introverted and then has a lot of other later problems.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times with children, correct me if I'm wrong, because I certainly don't claim to know what you do, but when kids feel threatened by even a bully their own age, often they physically fight because they emotionally can't handle it.
A lot of times actually they'll freeze.
Yeah.
And so then they not even allow themselves, they get bullied, mm-hmm. and they spend so much time maybe getting bullied time after time after time, and then they explode. Mm-hmm. And then that's where you have the big incidents in the schools, where you have the shootings or the children who are committing suicide because of a bully.
Right. Has there been any talk of implementing this program throughout schools, where it's just sort of a mandatory? I mean, it seems to make sense to me that it would be part of the curriculum.
Well, that's definitely a goal. It's something that they've done in Utah. A lot of children in the Utah school systems go through this program, and it's, like you said, it's a mandatory part of their program. But it'd be wonderful if we could get that in the Allen County area, to have that implemented in the schools. That'd be great.
So until that happens, because I'm going to believe it will, until that happens, where can parents go, parents or guardians go to enroll their kids in the radKIDS program?
Well, they can call to the Women's Bureau, 424-7977. They can go on the website and make sure that they get in contact with the outreach educators.
Fantastic. This just seems like a no-brainer. So please, since it's not involved in your kids' schools more often than not, be sure that you enroll them in this program. Call the Women's Bureau. It's so important. Fatima, will you come back and show me perhaps some of the tools you give kids?
Absolutely, and it's definitely important right now because we're getting ready to end school and go into summer, and so to have this in youth programs during the summer would also be very, very great.
Oh,
they would have it once and then get it again in school, which would just be fantastic for their confidence and for their skills.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for agreeing to come back.
Thank you.
And again, please call the Women's Bureau and get your kids enrolled in the radKIDS program. It will empower them and really make it better, make a better community as a whole.